What is up? UFC 300 is upon us, and I am back to giving you guys my predictions. The last few times I've tried to do predictions on UFC cards, they have not been able to upload just because they're usually a lot longer videos and the updating stuff that I use, or the uploading stuff that I use, just like the apps or whatever, just doesn't work for like longer videos. So we'll see what happens, because there's a whole lot of great cards. There's a whole lot of great fights on this card that I'm so excited to go over with you guys. And this card is stacked. This card is so stacked. And I'm super excited to give you guys my predictions. And dude, we're going to start off with the earliest prelim fight. Let's just get right into it. Cody Garbrandt and Davison Figueiredo are going at it in the first fight. A former champion. Two former champions in the first fight on the entire card. I mean, you can't even make this stuff up, man. You can't even make this stuff up, dude. And I see many people picking Davison Figueiredo. No one's giving Cody Garbrandt a shot. But I am. I'm picking Davison, baby. Or, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm picking Cody Garbrandt. Okay? I honestly think that Cody Garbrandt's patient style is going to give Davison Figueiredo some troubles. And I think once Cody Garbrandt starts to heat up and he starts to step in, I think he's going to crack Davison a lot. And I think he's going to be too fast for him on the feet. He's going to be cracking him, and he's going to be doing his little dance like he was on Dominic Cruz, doing his dance, and he goes like this. You feel me? I think he's gonna do that all over Davison Figueiredo. He's gonna whoop on him, and he's gonna beat him by decision. So final pick, Cody Garbrandt by decision. Lock it in. The second fight on the card, we have two legends going at it. Jim Miller taking on Bobby King Green, and wow, I am very excited for this card. Bobby Green and Jim Miller, it's gonna be a great fight. Straight up, it's going to be a great fight. And as much as it kind of doesn't make any sense for Jim Miller to win, I feel like it's just in the cards. Fight at UFC 100, 200, 300, and then retire. I honestly don't even have any explanation for this. Bobby Green carries more power. He's younger, he has the cleaner boxing, and he has really good takedown defense. So I don't really know how Jim Miller's going to win, but I got to pick him. KO, Jim Miller. Lock it in. Walk-off KO, Robbie Lawler style. Next up, rounding off the early prelims, we have the guy who's coming off of absolutely annihilating Bobby Green, and Renato Moicano, who's coming off of a boring win over Drew Dober. I mean, that's about it. The fight sucked. His fight with Drew Dober sucked, but that's not the point. These two fighters they're great fighters, and it's kind of like a striker versus grappler kind of matchup here. Renato Moicano has very good submissions, and he has pretty good takedowns. And Jalen Turner does not have very good takedown defense and will get taken down if Renato Moicano tries. But Jim Miller, he has really good push kicks, really good jab. He's long, lanky, he's tall, but I said the same thing when he fought Mateusz Gamrot, and then Gamrot beat him. So if Gamrot's going to beat you, I honestly think that Moicano is 100% going to beat you. So for that reasoning, I think Renato Moicano is going to take him down, and I think he's going to sub him. And let's go Renato Moicano by submission in like the second round, I'd say. Like first or second round submission for Renato Moicano, who's a super big underdog, by the way. So lock it in. The next fight that I will be going over is Sodiq Yusuff taking on Diego Lopez, and I am very excited for this fight. Like, it is a complete 50-50 here. And I honestly think that it's going to go to a decision. Even though these two are very exciting fighters, I don't think either one's going to get the finish on each other. I believe that Diego Lopez is big hype train. all right? Huge, huge hype train. And Sadiq Youssef, though, even though he's not getting as much hype, is an absolute dog and just made some fight IQ mistakes against Edson Barbosa. And he lost to the more experienced and higher IQ fighter on the night. But I still think that Sadiq Youssef can hang with all these incredible strikers. So I am going to pick Diego Lopez by decision just because I think his grappling is going to save him later in the fight. But on the feet, this is going to be very exciting and very, very close. But my final prediction is going to be Diego Lopez 29-28, unanimous decision, lock it in. Next up is a fight that I'm a lot less excited for, Kayla Harrison and Holly Holm. So in the very beginning, I thought Holly Holm was going to win. I thought that Holly Holm's grappling, her clinch grappling specifically, because Kayla Harrison obviously is like an insane grappler, maybe the best women's grappler ever. We'll see how she fares in the UFC. But Holly Holm's clinch game is very helpful against a Sambo-like fighter. But I think that Holly Holm is going to try to keep her distance here and kind of piece up Kayla Harrison. Kayla Harrison is terrible on the feet. And she's just terrible on the feet, right? Sloppy boppy style, super sloppy on the feet. But on the ground, she's just so good. So I think that Holly Holm is actually going to fare a lot better than many people will think. But in the end, I think Kayla Harrison's wrestling is going to save her. And she's probably going to find a submission like round 3, maybe late round 2. Lock it in. Next up, we got a couple of absolute dogs. Absolute dogs. Aljamain Sterling taking on Calvin Kattar. People forget how good Calvin Kattar is. People forget it. They always think about his losses. Why? Why are you thinking about this dude's losses? His Max Holloway loss, yes. He got thrashed. One of the worst beatings I've ever seen. But he learned from that, and you can tell in that Giga fight that he next fought, he ruined Giga. He ruined him. Straight up. And even though that ACL tear, the ACL tear is bad. That's one that you definitely don't want to overlook going into a fight. But Aljamain Sterling is not the best at getting takedowns. He's great with his submissions. If he takes your back, it's over. If he takes Calvin Kattar's back, it's over, which is definitely possible. But I think that Calvin Kattar is going to be able to keep this on the feet because Aljamain Sterling is not very good at taking people down. Sugar Sean O'Malley got taken down by Petr Yan multiple times. Okay? Sugar Sean does not have the greatest takedown defense. But Aljamain Sterling just has very overrated wrestling, in my opinion. And I think he's not going to be able to get the takedown. And I think he's going to struggle. And I think that Calvin Kattar is going to piece him up on the feet and probably knock him out. Okay, I think Aljamain Sterling is going to kind of do what he did against Sean O'Malley, make some mistake, right? And I think that Calvin Kattar is going to catch him and knock him out. I'm going to go with a second round knockout as my final prediction. So Calvin Kattar, second round knockout, lock it in. The next fight I'll be going over in the final fight that's on the prelims, which I can't even believe is a prelim. And I can't even believe that Bo Nickal's on the main card. Put Yuri on the main card. Yuri Prochazka and Alexander Rakic are going at it, and I am so hyped. Alexander Rakic is talking some smack, saying that Yuri Prochazka's a fake samurai. You just called Yuri Prochazka a fake samurai? Even Yuri Prochazka told Alexander Rakic to shut up at the press conference. Or not the press conference, some interview, right? I can't, might have been the press conference. I saw it on Instagram, but he's like, shut up. Like, if Yuri Prochazka's telling you to shut up, he's gonna put his samurai on you, man. He's gonna put his samurai on you. I know Alexander Rakic is a huge light heavyweight. Maybe the biggest light heavyweight in the entire UFC right now. And he has some very heavy low kicks, which could 100% cause Yuri some problems. But I think that Yuri is going to go full samurai on him, and I think he's going to knock out Alexander Rakic. I think it's going to be a position or a situation where Alexander Rakic is winning the fight. He's winning it. I think Alexander Rakic is going to win a lot of the fight, but I think that Yuri's going to do his thing, coming in with his crazy shots, right? He's going to be like this. Right? And he's gonna knock out Alexander Rakic. I think he is. My final prediction is Yuri Prohaska by a wild late third-round knockout. Lock it in. Next up, we're on to the main card, and the first fight on the main card that I want to talk about is Bo Nickel taking on Cody Brundage. All right, I'm done talking about Bo Nickel and Cody Brundage. Bo Nickel, first-round knockout, lock it in, all that, yeah. Next. Now we're on to, like, real cool fights that actually, like, that have something at stake that will actually matter and might actually be close. And this one won't be close, though, but the other ones could. Charles Oliveira, Arman Tsarukyan. And Arman Tsarukyan, if you saw him at Media Day, he's looking crazy. He has a straight-up 10-pack. Holy steroids out there. I mean, just looking crazy. But I don't think those muscles are going to save him. Okay? He knocked out the sloppy seconds of Beneil Dariush, okay, after Charles Oliveira softened him up. Okay? And who else has he beat? Who else has he beat? That's, like, worthy. Dzmir Magomedov? Dzmir Magomedov is not at all on the level of Charles Oliveira. Okay? Charles Oliveira is going to whip this dude. Blonde Oliveira is back, okay? And he is going to whoop Arman Tsarukyan in the first round. Arman Tsarukyan's going to come out all crazy like Beneil Dariush did, and how everyone does. They're going to come out all crazy. He might drop Charles Oliveira. He might get overconfident, and then Charles Oliveira is going to whip him. Going to whip him, knock him out. It's going to be one of the craziest first rounds ever, and Charles Oliveira is going to submit him. He's going to get rocked, and then he's going to rock Arman, and then he's going to take Arman's back, and then he's going to submit him. Straight up. That's my prediction. That's going to be the whole fight right there. Charles Oliveira, first round submission, lock it. The next fight up is for the BMF title. We have Justin Gaethje taking on Max Holloway. And I think this fight is going to be great. I think that this fight is going to be absolutely great, and people are not giving Max Holloway enough credit out here. People who think that Justin Gaethje is going to run through him, I am picking Max Holloway. Believe it or not, I'm picking Max Holloway because I always was worried about the size advantage, right? But if you look at Max Holloway, he's not as crazy big as everyone's saying, but he's a whole lot bigger than he's ever been in his UFC career. And he's looking like a monster, man. And I think his 145 speed's going to carry to 155. And even though Justin Gaethje's going to hit harder, I don't think it's going to be like a Dustin Poirier situation. I think they're going to start off pretty timid because they both have kind of more timid styles, right? I think Max Holloway is going to come up to 155 and be a little bit more cautious. He's not just going to be swinging at the wind, all right, like the Korean zombie fight, okay? And I think that Justin Gaethje, he's developed a more passive approach to fighting, which is not a bad thing. It's just, I just don't think he's going to win the fight doing it like that. And I think those low kicks, if he sticks to them, he hasn't really been sticking to them in his last couple fights. I think they're going to hurt Max Holloway a lot. And I do think that they're going to cause Max Holloway some troubles. But I think Max Holloway is going to be the faster boxer. And I think he's going to kind of piece up Justin Gaethje. The fight's going to be real close, but I don't think anyone's going to get finished here. My final prediction is going to be a 48-47 decision for Max Holloway. Maybe even a split decision. Now we're on to the co-main event, and we have for the strawweight title, Zhang Weili taking on Yan Xiaonan. And I am giving Yan Xiaonan zero chance to win this fight. Straight up, I'm giving her zero chance. Zhang Weili drastically improves every single fight. It's insane. She's like drastically improving every single time she fights. It's just wild to watch. And I think that she is the best women's fighter right now in women's MMA, the entire women's MMA. And I honestly think that she might go down as the best women's fighter in UFC history. She might pass Amanda Nunes. I think that Zhang Weili is so insanely good. I think she's the strawweight GOAT, and I think she's going to defend her belt. She's going to dominate Yan Xiaonan on the ground. She's going to dominate Yan Xiaonan on the feet. She's going to dominate Yan Xiaonan everywhere they go, and wherever she wants to take the fight. She's going to control this pace, and I think she's going to 50-44, maybe even 50-43 unanimous decision Yan Xiaonan. Like, I don't think she's going to finish her, but she's going to punish her. I mean, it's going to be bad. She's going to beat her up bad. So for my final prediction, I'm taking Yan Xiaonan by a 50-44 Unanimous decision. Now we're on to the main event of the evening. We have Alex Poatan Pereira taking on Jamal Sweet Dreams Hill, as Lucas Tracy would say, Salty Mall Hill. But I think this fight is going to be a lot closer than people think. I do think that Jamal Hill has great striking, and I do think he will, if he takes it to the ground, be good on the ground against Alex Pereira, even though Alex Pereira's proven that he has really good takedown defense. And I don't think this fight's going to go to the ground. I think if Alex Pereira can stuff takedowns from Jan Blachowicz, he's going to be able to stuff takedowns from Jamal Hill. So I think this fight's going to stay on the feet, and I think it's going to be really close to start. Jamal Hill might even take a couple rounds off him. But then I think Alex Pereira is going to catch him with that left hook. I think Jamal Hill's going to overextend looking for the finish, which he very commonly does. And I think Alex Pereira is going to boom, clip him with that left hook, and it's going to put him out. So, for my final prediction of the main event of the evening, I'm taking Alex Poatan Pereira to and still UFC champion, third round left hook KO. Let's get it.